When I started to look at this, at trying to practice the loving kindness meditation, I found it quite challenging to start with. It was seemed like such a huge leap from the way that I had been thinking about myself. A lot of self-judgment, a lot of harsh harsh words towards myself. I think partially because I was finding it so difficult uh, being autistic in a world really that's not designed for autistic people, and I didn't know that I was. So I was using harsh words towards myself in order to try and, I don't know, make myself perform better. But when I realized I was autistic, I could listen to the words. It was still hard and still quite overwhelming, but I was able to think about all the other autistic people also that had struggled and needed to hear those words. I cried a lot to start with, um, almost like overwhelmed with the fact that was thinking about being kind to myself, because I kind of realized how much I hadn't been. Um, the more I practiced it, the easier it got, but still tricky, but such a valuable thing to, like, to shift some of my self-judgment and harshness towards myself. Um, when I had to come up with the words, how to try to speak to myself in a loving, kind way, I found, like, I have heard of this practice before, and the words seemed a bit stilted and not really accessible to me. So I thought about couching the words in a way that was kind of, that I could immediately access. Um, and it was like a recognition that I was struggling. Um, so I would say to myself, like, this is a hard time right now. Um, and and I know that sometimes everyone feels like this, um, which kind of helped me not feel so alone. And and then I thought about how I could be kind to myself, and I worked out that the words would be, what do I need right now to help me get through this? So it was kind of it was simple, but it was practical in that, like, to be kind to myself, I needed to think about what I needed. Um, and, whether that was, a cup of tea or a warm bath, or sitting in the sun, but it had to be, the words had to match what it was that I needed. Like, I needed to tell myself in a way that I could immediately get. Um, so it was something that, um, when I think about the words that I need, when I need to be kind to myself, sometimes I can't always think of that in the moment. So I wrote them on a little card so that when I am struggling and I need to be kind to myself, I can pull out this card and it says, this is hard right now. Everybody feels like this. What can I do to be kind to myself right now? And just seeing that card um, kind of jolts me back into thinking about what I need, instead of going down the old pathways of beating myself up. So yeah, it's been super helpful, and I like the way that we can adjust it to how it fits and works for neurodivergent people.